So, hello and welcome to another session on Indian writing in English. We continue with Nagamandala. We stopped with Kapanna seeing a woman or a yaksha woman, and he is scared and he stands stiff, and Kurdava asks him what happened to him, why he acts like that. Kapanna, he suddenly wakes up with Kurdava's call, and Kapanna says, "Hey, nothing." Kurdava, "What do you mean, nothing? Giving me a scare like that?" Kapanna, "You won't believe me if I tell you. It was her again." Kurdava, "Why shouldn't I believe you if you talked sense? Just admit it's one of the girls from a nearby village instead of making up fancy stories about her." See, Kurdava she already believes in magic, she already believes in superstition, yet she is not able to understand the mind of her son. She is not able to understand Kapanna when he says that he's seeing something which seems to be tempting him, or which seems to be giving him a fright. And Kapanna says, she's not a village girl. Which village girl will dare step out at this hour? Am I not making up? And I am not making up stories. That day she floated out from the haunted well. Just now she stepped out of the cemetery, looked at me, smiled and waved. Kurdava, perhaps she's an ogress of demon birth, or someone from the nether world, perhaps a spirit. Why don't you just say who it is? So Kurdava, though she knows, so from this ogress and women, yaksha women, or the nether world is the other world, the world of the dead. So though she believes in all those stories, yet she is not able to be convinced that this is happening to her son. Okay, so she still says, why don't you just say who it is? Why are you making up stories? Just tell me who that girl is. And Kapanna says, you won't let me. Kurdava says, when you talk like this, I feel we are falling apart. It's fear I have never felt before. Now that's where I want you to focus. Now this foreshadows Kurdava's fear of losing her son. Again, I want to concentrate, or I want you to think about what the theme or the things that we discussed in the earlier videos. I did tell you about the exploitation of women by women, the older women by the younger women, the two female identities that are portrayed here. The one is that of the older woman, and the other one is that of the younger woman. So here we have Kurdava, who becomes a part of the older, ailing, sickly mother who demands affection, who wants to be taken care of. And you have on the other side the yaksha kind of woman, or the temptress, who tempts Kapanna, and who is ready to forsake even his mother for her love. Now the same thing can be seen in the anecdote of the flames, where he says that sickly mother, that the whole house which stank of urine and pus, the mother died that morning, and the master with the young juicy cucumber like wife put out the flame, and therefore the flame was able to come, and then there is a laughter. So there you see this clash between the two identities. One is on one side you have the sickly, ailing elder women of the family, and the others who demands affection, who demands being looked after, and who does not allow the son to be or to enjoy being with his young wife. And on the other hand, you have the young, attractive woman or wife, who again there is a push and pull between the two, between the mother and the daughter-in-law, or mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law. Okay, so it's somewhat similar to that you can see here also. This theme continues, and therefore you can see a lot of themes being set. The Indian scenario, the Indian society being showcased here in Karnad's Nagamandala. Okay, so Kurdava, when you talk like this, I feel we are falling apart. It's a fear I have never felt before. So she knows that something is going to come and she's going to lose her son. Kapana, mother, just listen. Kurdava, shut up now. They exit arguing. It gets brighter. It's midday. Apana enters, sees the dead dog. Apana, what's wrong with this dog? Why is it asleep in the hot sun? Whistles, then comes nearer and inspects. It is dead. Dead. I paid 50 rupees for it. Rani comes to the front window and looks out. Apana, something has bitten it. Perhaps that cobra from that ant hill. To Rani, this was no ordinary hound. It cornered a cheetah once. It must have sensed the cobra. It must have given a fight. Didn't you hear anything at night? She shakes her head. He gets up. Appanna, I'd better go and find an untouchable to bury the carcass. Appanna exits. Rani stares after him, non-puzzled, touches herself on her cheek. Rani, but last night he had blood on his cheeks and shoulders. Now, so see, Appanna, look at the dialogue of Appanna. I'd better go and find it untouchable to bury the carcass. So the word untouchable again portrays the evils of caste system. Again, the Indian society is portrayed here. Though it is just one word, it shows how the Indian society looks upon the untouchables. All the menial job, all the dirty work are done by whom? Done by these untouchable, the Dalits. Okay, and they have to bury the dog because they are the ones who have by birth being assigned to do such dirty menial job. All right, so that's one another sub themes in Nagamandala. So Rani again notices the change. Appanna and Naga. Appanna does not have blood on his cheeks or the shoulders, whereas Naga had. So there is a suspicion going on. So as I told you, in the theatre, in the Indian theatre, though the actors play the same role, it is a kind of technique used in meta theatre to again it gives a lot of paradoxical ironies. It increases the audience attention, and also you have a lot to think about it as to why the dramatist Karnad himself says that the actor who plays Appanna should play Naga as well. So this is to show the double nature or the double aspect of Indian men, and also the Rani's change. Okay, Rani notices the change in Naga. She's suspicious of Naga. So that shows again, though it is played by the same actor, Rani and her suspicion of thinking, okay, Naga and Appanna have physically also there is a lot of difference, not in the sense that though they are the same, Naga does not have, Appanna does not have blood on his cheek and shoulders. Yesterday he had it, now he does not. He had wounds yesterday, now he does not have it. So she starts to suspect, and therefore from that we can understand that Karnad is telling us probably something more to it. Not just the double aspect of men the Indian men who appears to be a stranger during the day and a lover during the night, but there is something more to it, because Rani's suspicion shows that again another level of meaning, another layer of meaning, and that is the Indian society, the present modern Indian society, the modern liberated women who are bold enough to stop worrying about or stop crying and subjugating themselves. Rather, they're bold enough to choose their own will. So Rani goes to the kitchen, she starts cooking, Aparna comes, bathes, sits down to eat, she serves him food, he gets up, locks the door and goes away. While all this is going on, the story narrates the following. The story, now again you have story intervening. The story, the death of the dog infuriated Aparna. He next brought a mongoose. The mongoose lasted only one day, but it had evidently given a tougher fight. Its mouth was full of blood. There were bits of flesh under its claws. Bits of snake skin were found in its teeth. Rani fainted when she saw the dead mongoose. That night he did not visit her. There was no sign of him the next 15 days. Rani spent her nights crying, wailing, pining for him. When he started visiting again, his body was covered with wounds which had only partly healed. She applied her ointment to the wounds, tended him, but she never questioned him about them. It was enough that he had returned. Needless to say, when her husband came during the day, there were no scars of him. So this part of the play is being narrated by the story. And again, if you look at it, it shows Rani's suspicion, growing suspicion. And it is very evident from the story's narration that there is a difference between Aparna and Naga physically. So again, that shows much more than the double aspects of man. Okay, it is about Rani's extramarital affair. Alright, so it gets on down and Rani is happy. Rani does not question. Rani just wants him to come. So she is finding solace in the arms of another man because she does not get the affection she needs from her husband, who is a boorish kind of a person, who is self-centered. And behaves as though a wife is an object that can be treated like anything and everything. All right. So it gets dark on stage. Rani hurriedly lights a lamp in the house. Rani, wait now. Don't be impatient. It won't be long. It will open out. Reach out with its fragrance, rushes into her bedroom, waits tensely, suddenly jumps up and breathes in deeply. There it is, the smell of the blossoming night queen. How it fills the house before he comes, how it welcomes him, how it takes me, sets each fiber in me on fire. So there is a longing for Naga. She's waiting for Naga. Naga comes, they embrace, they make love. Naga plays with her loose hair. She suddenly laughs. Naga, what is it? Rani, thank God. Naga, why? Rani, all these days I was sure I didn't just dream up these nightly visits of yours. You don't know how I have suffered. When I saw your scowling face in the morning, I would be certain everything was a fantasy and almost want to cry. But my real anxiety began as the evening approached. I would merely lie here, my eyes shut tight. What is there to see after all? The same wall, the same roof. As the afternoon passed, my whole being got focused in my ears. The bells of the cattle returning home. That means it is late afternoon. The cacophony of birds in a far-away tree. It is sunset. The chorus of cricket spreading from one grove to another. It is night. Now he will come. Suppose he doesn't tonight? Suppose the night queen does not blossom? Suppose it's all a dream? Every night the same anxiety, the same cold feeling deep within me. Thank God that's all past now. So Rani is longing for Naga. So Rani just wants him to come back to her. It's been 15 days since Naga turned up, and from the story we understand that Appanna has brought in a mongoose to keep watch over the house, and the mongoose and the snake, when Naga came, they had a fight, and it was a bitter fight, a fierce one than the one with the dog, and Naga is terribly wounded, and that is the reason why he does not turn up for 15 days. And now that he has come, he has wounds all over him. And here you see Rani also speaking the same language of Naga. Earlier it was not like that. Remember about Naga's long eloquent speech about love making, about the nature and how they make love, even the trees and how they reproduce and everything. That long eloquent speech of Naga. Yeah, just like that here also Rani is speaking in the same way as Naga does. So we understand that Rani has changed from that frigid, shy kind of a person to a bold and more more stronger sort of a person. That is only because of Naga, his sensuousness, his love making has turned her into a bold woman. Naga: why? Rani: I have definite evidence to prove I was not fantasizing. Naga: what evidence? Rani: I'm pregnant. He stares at her, dumbfounded. Why are you looking at me like that? There's a baby in my womb. He stares blankly. We're going to have a baby. Pause. It doesn't make you happy? Anguished. What am I going to do with you? Laugh? Cry? Bang my head against the wall? I can never guess how you'll react. I thought you would dance with joy on hearing the news, that you would whirl me around and fondle me, feel my stomach gently and kiss me, all that. Pause. Actually, I was also afraid you might not do anything of the sort. That's why I hid the news from you all these moments. I can't make any sense of you even when it is just the two of us. Now a third life joins us. I don't know if that would be too much for you. So I was silent. Her eyes fill up. What I feared has come true. What kept me silent has happened. You're not happy about the baby. You're not proud that I'm going to be a mother. Sometimes you're so cold-blooded. You cannot be human. Now again, there is a dramatic irony here. The audience and the playwright knows that Naga is not a human. It's a cobra. But Rani does not know. Okay. Forcibly puts his hand on her belly. Just feel. Our baby is crouching in here in the darkness, listening to the sounds from the world outside, as I do all day long. Naga dully: I'm glad you hid the news from me all this time. Even now try to keep from speaking about it as long as possible. Keep it a secret. Rani: from whom? Naga: from me. Rani: what are you talking about? I have already told you. How can it be a secret again? And how long can it remain a secret? Another 15 days? 3 weeks? Naga sadly: I realize it cannot remain a secret for long. That is why I said as long as possible. Please do as I tell you. Rani blankly: yes, I shall. Don't ask questions. Do as I tell you. Don't ask questions. Do as I tell you. No, I won't ask questions. I shall do what you tell me. Scowls in the day, embraces at night, the snarl in the morning, unrelated to the caress at night. But day or night, one motto does not change. Don't ask questions. Do as I tell you. He's silent. I was a stupid, ignorant girl when you brought me here. But now I'm a woman, a wife, and I'm going to be a mother. I'm not a parrot, not a cat, or a sparrow. Why don't you take it on trust that I have a mind and explain this charade to me? Why do you play these games? Why do you change like a chameleon from day to night? Even if I understood a little, a tiny bit, I could bear it. But now, sometimes I feel my head is going to burst. Naga opens his mouth to say something. Rani, I know. Don't ask questions, do as I say. Naga laughs. That's not what I was going to say. Rani, you don't want the child, do you? If I had remained barren, I could have spent my whole life happily trying to work out whether all of this was real or dream. But this is no dream now. Dreams remain in the heads. This one has roots, has sent roots deep down into my womb. Suddenly, what shall I do? Shall I have an abortion? Naga stares blankly. I may find a sharp instrument in the kitchen, a ladle, a knife. Or I can ask Kurudava's help. No, it's too late. It's 5 months. It's 5 months old. Too big to be kept a secret. Forgive me. I know it's my fault, but the secret will be out whatever I do. So here you have a problem. Rani is pregnant. Naga is not happy. Naga asks her to keep it a secret. From whom? From him. So again, Girish Karnad brings in that double aspect of Aparna. So to keep it a secret from Naga, Naga has already been told by Rani that she's going to be a mother. So Naga is not happy and he wants it to be kept a secret. Secret from whom? From him. So he cannot withstand or he cannot think about the fact of being a father. Okay. So again, from Rani, you understand that she does not relish the response of Naga over her pregnancy, and she feels strange that she's asked to do what he says without asking him questions. She says, you do this or that, don't ask questions. Do as I tell you, don't ask questions, do as I tell you. She keeps repeating it. So she couldn't comprehend the idea, the changes in this attitude. So she says, even if we are alone, even just the two of us, I am not able to understand you. How you change like a chameleon from day to night. Okay, and now that there is a third person going to come in between them, that is a baby, she doesn't understand. And she says, if it was just a dream, if I was barren, if I were barren, if I couldn't produce a child, I would have spent the rest of my life trying to work out whether this was real or a dream. So real, why does she say that now it is real and not a dream? Because she is not pregnant. And she understood that it is not a dream, rather it is a reality. But if she was barren, she could have continued being happy, thinking, not happy, at least thinking, wailing away the time, killing time by thinking whether it is a reality or a dream. But now she knows that it's not dream. Dreams just remain in the heads. This one has sent roots deep down into her womb, which means that she's now a mother to Naga's child. And she says, should I have an abortion? If you're not happy, what should I do? Should I have an abortion? She then just thinks about some sharp instrument. And then she says, well, I shall ask Kurdava. But then she remembers that it's already 5 months and it's too late to abort the child. So you see that she has changed. She has changed from a foolish woman to now that she has become a wife in the sense when Aparna brought her, she was not completely a wife. She became a wife only when Naga embraced her. She understood what it feels to be a wife when Naga made love to her. And now that with Naga's child, she has become a mother. Now she has become bold, not a foolish woman as she used to be. She has started to ask questions. Okay, she is demanding an answer, and she is actually not happy about his attitude. Okay, and she also asks. There's another thing that another important thing again repeated here, and that is the quest of identity. And what is that? She says, do you keep forgetting that I have a mind of my own? She asks him why he doesn't understand that she has a mind of her own. She asks him why he should be so complex. Okay, so the two aspects of Indian men are very evident. A stranger by morning and a lover at night. His nature, his attitude. Now we also see Rani as a bold, woman now. She questions Naga's attitude. So she's actually questioning in a way the Indian, or Rani becomes any woman, any Indian woman in the Indian society who questions now that who questions her husband when she is on the verge of being annoyed or really irritated by his behavior. So she turns away and Naga takes a step to go. So it's almost morning. Naga, it's almost morning. I must go. Rani waking up. What? Naga, I have to go. Rani, gently go. She turns away. Naga takes a step to go. They both freeze. The lights change sharply from night to midday. In a flash, Naga becomes Aparna, pushes her to the floor and kicks her. See, so you have the dramatic technique that is used by Kannada. So suddenly the stage comes to life. So till now you had only, the drama, the sequence was going on, but then the stage comes to life here. So suddenly Naga changes to Aparna, and you understand that, okay, this is Aparna now, not Naga. It is Aparna. Okay, and in a flash he becomes Aparna, and then he pushes Rani to the floor and kicks her. And there you understand that she has told or explained everything to now that she's pregnant. She has told Aparna about it, and Aparna comes to know about it, and he is agitated. So the double aspect of Indian man again is evident here. Okay, he is responsible man. You must have heard of such stories in the newspaper where the husband kills the whole family, his wife and his children, because he suspects his wife. So he kills his wife, and not just that, how does he murder his own children? He murders his daughters by raping them because he thinks that they are born to somebody else. His own blood. He's suspicious, and he becomes a beast, and he rapes them and kills them, and his sons are tortured, brutally killed. That happened to some few years back, somewhere in Kerala only, and it was there, the newspaper. He is very doubtful, and he killed his wife and his children, and they were put, the bodies were found in the drains. His own daughters were, eldest daughter, she was raped by him, thinking that she was born to somebody else. So this is the attitude of not just Indian man, but any human being who becomes suspicious, and it's actually a psychological problem as well. So here Naga and Aparna are the same person in one way. If you look at it, Naga and Aparna are the same person. So that's why they are played by the same actor. So to show the double aspect of Indian man. Again, so Aparna, he starts shouting at Rani. Aparna, aren't you ashamed to admit it, you harlot? I locked you in and yet you managed to find a lover. Tell me who it is. Who did you go to with your sari off? See, the double standard of Appanna. He has an illicit relationship with another woman. He goes to a harlot. He goes to a prostitute. He himself goes to a prostitute. And he doesn't mind. He doesn't think that's a sin. And when his wife, that too is he's suspecting his wife, an innocent girl like Rani, when she's pregnant, he is not able to accept it. He says things, he doubts that to somebody else. And he says, of course, in the movie that, or not the play, we find that they are two different characters. Again, that's because the theme is like that. You have to bear in mind several themes. Don't get confused by this. You have to bear, it's a story, it's just a story. Again, I keep telling you, Karnad just wants to tell you that's just a story. At the same time, several aspects or several themes of the Indian society is brought here or mirrored here. One theme is the double aspect of man, another theme is the complexity of woman, another theme would be the Indian, Indian society, the Indian nuclear families where everything is happy, but nothing, but deep in the core of it, things are not, they are decentered, or there's turbulence. All right. So here, Appanna, he starts questioning her and the language that he uses on her. You shame me in front of the whole village, who did you go to with your sari off? That's what he asks. So he's such his mind is dirtier than what than he himself. Rani, I swear to you, I haven't done anything wrong. Appanna, you haven't? And yet you have a bloated tummy. Just pumped air into it, did you? And you think I'll let you get away with that? You shame me in front of the whole village. You darken my face, you slut. He beats her. The cobra watches this through a window and moves about frantic. Neither notices it. Both, that is Appanna and Rani, does not notice it. Appanna, I swear to you, I am not my father's son if I don't abort that bastard. Smash it into dust right now. Drags her into the street, picks up a huge stone to throw on her. The cobra moves forward, hissing loudly, drawing attention to itself. Rani screams. Rani, oh my God, a snake, a cobra. Appanna throws the stone at the cobra, which instantly withdraws. Rani uses this moment to run into the house and lock herself in. Appanna runs behind her and bangs on the door. Appanna, open the door, you whore. All right then, I'll show you. I'll go to the village elders. If they don't throw that child into boiling oil, and you along with it, my name is not Appanna. He exits. He rushes into her bedroom. Lights change tonight. She is crying on the floor. Naga comes and sits gloomily nearby. So I am going to leave you at that. And I want you in the next class to have as many questions as possible. We'll pick it up in the discussion session. And I want you to think about Rani's dilemma. I want you to think about the double standard of Appanna. Yes, and we'll continue with this. We'll do a critical analysis of it in the next video. So thank you and keep safe.